All right, hello everybody. We are here at the Manny's and we're in the Full Circle booth. And so we're going to be talking about sort of how we got here, a few different topics. But joining me today are Francesca Harris and Jeff Perino from Triple Threat. And we want to ask them some questions about how they got here, but also sort of how the creativity in our space has evolved. Clearly the work in the pharma space, you've all heard the jokes, but things are different, right? So you started to notice over the last 10 years or so, the work get better and better and better, and I'm excited to see what's up for an award today. So I want to turn it over to our guests and get into this a little bit, and start with Francesca.
Hello.
I don't want to put you too much on the spot here, but what led you here today? What is your sort of full circle story? What are the key events that led you to this moment where you're the creative director at Triple Threat Communications?
Well, full circle is I've been in this business for a very long time and starting out at a very low level in this industry. Healthcare has always been my passion, and to be able to put the creative touch on the things we do and really design and structure our communications has always been my passion. And I've been at a lot of agencies at various levels, working my way up. And then when Triple Threat formed, it was a no-brainer to join the company and just keep it going.
So Triple Threat, the virtual agency before the whole world went virtual.
Absolutely.
So they knew something. So, and Francesca and Jeff, are a creative team, are also up for an award tonight. I think it's Best HCP Print Campaign. Great work. I had the pleasure of judging this year, so we had some great conversations about your work. But Jeff, wanted to throw it over to you, a little bit about how you got here.
Yeah, so my first year was in traffic, and I always say that was probably the most important year, just because I got to understand how everything was put together at an agency. So I remember, and this was 25 years ago, just bringing a book around, a spec book, to anyone who could see it. And before that, I remember canvassing Chicago, trying to get in the door. So work hard enough, it'll happen. So that's,
love that. I
that's
think
the origin story.
The best people come out of traffic. I didn't, but case in point. So, moving on to how did we get here from a creative standpoint? And I think this to me is one of the most important discussions that we're having in the healthcare creative space, because we've seen the work consistently improve to the point where we can really be proud at an event like this to see that sort of category after category, you're really seeing tremendous creative work. And that was not the case not all that long ago. We still have a long way to go, but I'm curious, what happened, right? It seems to have happened quickly. Maybe in the last 10, 15 years, you're seeing a big shift in the work. Do you have thoughts on why did that happen? How did it happen? What kept it from happening for so long, and what sort of broke the levee?
I think our clients' needs have changed. The spread ad in a medical journal, we're just not doing that, and we had to get very creative as to how we got our messages out. There's so many avenues for getting messages out that are digital, conventions, not your traditional print. There's so much that we do. And I think for us, our clients have come to trust us. And I think building that trust has been key to allowing them to let us do our best work.
And Jeff, I've been particularly interested in asking you this question because as we spoke about before the interview, I read an article of yours not too long ago, and you were addressing the regulations in the industry, right? That is not an excuse.
Sure.
It really resonated with me because I felt like for a long time we said, well, we can't be creative in this space, and clearly we can. And would love to hear your thoughts on what really kind of drove that transition.
So unquestionably we're in an industry with very narrow parameters, but I would argue that there's always opportunity to be creative. So Whether you're working on tactics, whether you're doing a DTC ad, it's all about finding those windows to be creative. And actually, I would make the argument that those restrictions are actually fuel to be creative. So we're all dealing with restrictions. It's just using that as a mechanism to push against the boundaries.
You guys were clearly able to convince your client to create an engaging piece of creative by focusing on the things that people think about. And what were the challenges there? Anything?
Yeah, so I would say we did go a couple rounds on that, and I would say one of the differentiators between doing what's okay or good and doing what's great is creative endurance. So I've met a lot of creatives that can go really creative. They can be really creative for 1 or 2 rounds. The true test is changing strategies, round 3, round 4, hanging in there, making new connections, not giving up, and finding new ways to just stay excited about the work.
And being
I
able
couldn't
to
agree
evolve
more.
your creative,
Yeah.
that you can meet all the expectations and objectives and make it through endless rounds of testing. Because that was heavily tested. Like nothing just went, oh, we like that, let's go with it.
Well, they wanted to be sure.
Yes. We
You're
say
gonna take
they
a
trust
chance,
us,
you
but
wanna
they
be
are
sure.
still remain cautious.
Yeah. All right, so Francesca, Jeff, thank you very much for spending time with us in the Full Circle booth. Congratulations on the nomination and good luck tonight.